Hello everyone, JSimLady here. Welcome back. Today I am finally making Grace our main character sim, or my main character sim anyways, a home in my save file that I'm working on. And I procrastinated this for so long because I have made over, well, number one, I have made over this lot numerous times already. So I kind of wanted to take a break from doing this particular lot over and over and over again. But besides that, I have made a couple of different remodels of this house that I really loved. Really loved, like a lot. Like, I still use them from time to time in various, let's plays and stuff like that. So, I really love them. But I didn't want to solely use from this point. Okay, so for a while there I was taking old houses that I had made and transferring them to the save file. Some of that was because I just truly love those houses and I think they would be perfect in the save file. And I'm going to be honest with you, some of it was I just had no inspiration for building there for many months. So I needed to keep going. I needed to get this save file done. And I thought, you know what? I really love these houses so much. I could recreate them, and then technically it would be a new house because I would ultimately choose all sorts of different things. Or I can just take the houses as they are, edit them a little bit, because most of them are limited pack builds or were built a long time ago before we had the packs that we have now. So I could just take them and edit them and add in some of the newer packs and stuff, and that's what I decided to do, right? But I thought, if I keep doing that too often, people are going to start to hate me and hate my videos. So I need to mix it up a little bit. And I decided that I wanted to build Grace a brand new house just for the save file. I also considered finishing up the house that she is living in currently in my long legacy. And that was a difficult one because to me, I think of them as the same sim, but ultimately they're really not the same sim. They were created at very different times. If I'm not mistaken, the version of Grace that is in the long legacy is very close to, if not the literal first version of Grace that I ever made. And the one that's in the save file, every once in a while I will go through and update her if new things have been released in newer packs that I think would fit the ultimate version of Grace better. You know what I mean? So, for instance, I added and or changed her scars over time on her face, so that it was better. The scars that we had in the past were kind of limited. Not bad per se, just limited in how and what and where. And so as time has gone on and we've gotten more options, I have been able to give her more scarring that feels like it fits Grace better and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, ultimately they are kind of two different characters that just happen to share a lot of similarities. Also, the Grace in the Long Legacy has taken some weird turns with her personality that I do not feel are necessarily accurate to the Grace that I have in mind. And a lot of that was influenced by, I hate to say it, some of the bugs that have happened over the years in The Sims 4. Other versions of Grace don't end up with those types of personality traits. I always play Grace exactly the same way. Always. I never falter. I never alter that gameplay. I always play Grace exactly the same way, and so the personality should more or less stay the same. However, that Long Legacy was created before Life and Death came out. I think it was created, gosh, 21, 22, right when kits were announced. Now I know that feels like a long time ago, and in some ways it kind of was a long time ago, but really it kind of also wasn't that long ago in a way. Um, and and there have been a lot of changes to the game. And in that time when packs would come out, there were a lot of bugs. And that definitely affected her personality for sure. And it's changed in a way that I don't particularly love, which is another reason why I don't play the Long Legacy very often. I have even considered maybe restarting it to see, because I had a very specific storyline in mind that I wanted for the Long Legacy, at least for the first generation, I guess 0 according to the game, because the game doesn't count the founder as the first generation. The game counts the children of the founder as generation 1, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. But for that foundational generation, I had a very specific storyline in mind that would kind of give way to an overall story arc that I had in mind. But because of some of the glitches and things that happened over the years, the story took a turn that was not conducive to the arc that I had wanted to tell, and that got frustrating for me very fast. The other thing is like I've mentioned, it just doesn't do well on my channel, so there isn't a lot of motivation or incentive to play it very often, to be honest with you. But none of those have anything to do with this build. That's all just to say, the Long Legacy version of Grace has diverged from the sort of foundational character that I originally made and had in mind. And this version of Grace is closer to that. And she constantly gets updates. And so I ultimately decided not to use the Long Legacy build either. Also, and I've said this so many times that it's probably annoying to people who have watched several of my videos, I just have this, what would you call it? Like, I don't know, I just have this feeling that this lot belongs to Grace. This is Grace's home lot. She may move into the city someday. She may move out to a farm someday, whatever. But this is where she starts out her adult life at. This is her space. This is her lot. I don't know why. It feels right to me. I guess maybe because the first time I ever played The Sims 4, I played on Streamlit Single. It was the one that required the least amount of editing when you first start up the game in this neighborhood. I don't hate the desert, but I don't love it either. And when The Sims 4 first started, all we had was this and Oasis Springs, if I'm not mistaken. And so I like this world is closer to something that I prefer to play in. And so this Foundry Cove is the cheaper starting neighborhood in this world. And Crick Cabana always bothered me because of the way it's set up. It may be accurate to a real life floor plan, sort of. But it looks like they put very little effort into it because the second bedroom, which to me seems more like a living room, because they didn't even put a wall or a door to finish it off. The teeny tiny main part of the house in Crick Cabana, which houses the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room, are minuscule compared to that bedroom, and it's opened up to the bedroom, which just feels kind of weird and like they didn't want to bother, honestly. And Daisy Hovel, that one's a little bit better, but the way it's set up, it makes it kind of annoying to furnish for the most part, especially since the door is right in the center, I believe. Is it right in the center? There's something right in the center of the front of the house that makes it really hard to set up furniture in that living room. The BFF house used to be like that in its original version as well. The living room is really, rose red? Rindle rose? What is it? Rindle rose. Oh my god, where did that even come from? Isn't that like an old movie from like way back when? I don't know. Anyways, that Rose whatever house in the next neighborhood over. That one also has one of those weird living rooms that makes it like it's kind of accurate to real life, but it makes it virtually impossible to furnish, especially if you want a TV in the room. Those kind of houses annoy me so badly. But anyways, so yeah, I never liked Crick Cabana. Daisy Hovel is also more expensive than Streamlit Single or Crick Cabana. And so you get a lot less bang for your buck with that one. And your Sims can't coast to the first few days because they'd have money left over. I mean, they would. It's not significantly more money, but they don't have as much money to kind of coast on as they do Streamlit Single and Crick Cabana. So all of those factors, it was the first lot that I played. It's as far as base game lots go, I think it's pretty close to one of the cheapest possible lots you can get without having to edit anything. With the house placed and everything. I don't know about Oasis Springs. Again, I don't play there very often. If I'm doing base game stuff, I mostly play in Willow Creek. But as far as Willow Creek goes, I'm pretty sure it's like the cheapest lot, or pretty close to the cheapest lot. Obviously, the empty lot is the cheapest lot, but I mean one that already has a house on it that you can start out in. And I often did, too. I often just started my Sims out in Streamlit Single and didn't do any altering of the furniture whatsoever, and it works perfectly. It's ugly. It's horribly furnished. The furniture, I mean, the furniture itself is not great, but it could be okay if it was just rearranged a little bit. But it's like they just placed everything down and didn't even care. So even just a little bit of rearranging of furniture helps Streamlit Single a little bit. Recoloring of a few things helps Streamlit Single a little bit. And so that made it my ultimate starting lot. And I guess that's just why I have very, like, I feel very affectionate towards it. As well as, like, Comfy Cubby. That's another one of my favorite lots over in Newcrest. I love Newcrest. It's probably my ultimate favorite world, followed by Brindleton Bay. But again, those ones didn't come until later. And so this one just captured me. Right from the start, it just captured me. And I've always had, I guess at this point, being 2026, being what, 10, 11 years, 12 years? Wait, is this year, last year was 10 years. I thought The Sims 4 came out in 2014. That would mean that 2024 was 10 years, right? I don't know when The Sims 4 came out. Was it in the spring or the fall? I always just assumed it came out in the spring, but maybe it came out in the fall. And that's why everybody was upset we didn't get a 10th anniversary of The Sims 4, like, thing. Because in the spring of 2025, then we got the 25th anniversary of the whole franchise. And maybe that's what it was. So that would make this year, later this year, The Sims 4 12 years old. That feels so weird to say to me. But 12 years is long enough that playing in the original version in 2014 is kind of nostalgic now. And that's, yeah. So I have just spent this entire video rambling on about my feelings. Yeah. Hopefully not too many of you clicked off. My channel's dying anyway, so I don't know why I care, but if, and I'm gonna say this again in a few minutes, but it would really be helpful to me if you're actually watching this video this far in, if you could hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing or leaving a little comment that says, you know, something, use big words. All I can think is use big words, because recently YouTube shut off my comments again to at least one of my videos. I only found it on one video so far, but I haven't checked every single video I've uploaded recently. But leave, like, comments with big words, even if it's just a random nonsensical comment that just has big words in it, and that's it. Things that children wouldn't post, because YouTube is trying to say this is a kids channel again, despite the fact that I have multiple videos on here talking about Sims showering and Sims getting up to all kinds of business in the bedroom and all that kind of stuff, like birth and death and all that kind of stuff. They're still, after all these years, they are still trying to mark my channel as a children's channel. It started way back when I was playing Minecraft, and I made the mistake of doing a Minecraft video with my family, which included my daughter and one of my nieces. And even though my niece was over 18 at the time, my daughter was not, and my niece was just barely, like just barely over 18. I think, actually, you know what? No, I take that back. She was not 18 yet, but she was very, very close to 18. And I took the video down years ago, but ever since that video, any Minecraft videos I do on this channel kept repeatedly getting, I don't know if I ever told that story directly here on the channel, but after that, every Minecraft video I did kept getting marked as kids content, and I would get my comments and everything shut off. And that's why I originally switched to The Sims 4, because The Sims 4 content does not get marked as kids content generally. Except this last time. I'm pretty sure it was a Sims 4 video. I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something else now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to look. But I can't remember. What was it? Oh, it was my House Flipper video. House Flipper Remastered Demo Part 1. That was the video that got marked as of all videos. I mean, I don't know too many little kids that play House Flipper, but whatever, YouTube. Anyways, the point is, I've been punished ever since that Minecraft video, and it pops up from time to time, and I think that's what's holding my channel back. So, I would really, really appreciate it if you could help a girl out and hit the like button, leave a comment, all that stuff. Let's get into the walkthrough. And here we have it. Here's the front yard right here. We've got a cute but understated little garden in the front yard here. I personally like this type of landscaping. I know it's not for everyone, and the fluffy, thicker, overgrown landscaping did grow on me, if you will, a little bit. I did enjoy doing that, but I always come back to this cute, delicate, understated landscaping that just kind of adds to the home rather than overpowers it and becomes the main focal point. You know what I mean? Anyways, here is the front porch. It's adorable as well. A nice, cozy little place to sit and people watch and have some drinks and grow some plants. Nothing too spectacular, just a cozy front porch. Then we have the entryway here, your basic entryway, nothing too extraordinary about it. The dining room is a very funny shape, I know. I think this house was just begging for something unique and different like this. And I thought it would be fun to try it. I could have made the living room slightly smaller and had a square dining room, but I just, yeah, I feel like it needed something a little different. Then we have the living room here. Nice cozy spot, and it faces the front of the house, so you can do people watching and yeah, just enjoy. I guess this is a dead-end street, so but the Sims do enjoy walking on that trail back there, so there's plenty of Sims to people watch. And that's why I like putting the living rooms and dining rooms in the front, because that's where you spend the majority of your time relaxing. In the kitchen, you're working, in the bedrooms, you're sleeping, or, you know, doing other stuff. So you're not really paying attention to what's going on outside. But in the dining room, when you're just sitting down to a relaxing meal, or in the living room when you're reading a book or whatever, who wants to look at a wall that's surrounding a channel and then not much else behind it? And maybe, yeah, like a shipping yard over there. Nobody wants to do that. So I always enjoy having the living rooms and dining rooms at the front of the house. Then we have the bathroom. Again, very simple, very understated. I tried to stay with the same color scheme throughout. We have Grace's bedroom here, a nice comfy bedroom for two if she ever decides to get married or even just live with somebody. We have the starting of a nursery. Grace really, really wants kids a lot, but she doesn't have them yet. She doesn't even have a boyfriend yet. So she's got the starting of a nursery ready to go just in case, but it's not decorated yet. Then over here, we have a nice big kitchen. My thinking was I wanted it to be sort of more balanced with the rest of the house, but I didn't know what else in a small house like this you would fill that up with. Technically, I could have put a small seating area in here and squished the kitchen to one side, but I didn't want to go like that cramped with it. I wanted there to be some space to spread out, and while the bedrooms are small, the living room is a really good size, and so I thought to balance that, the kitchen could be a nice good size as well, and it adds storage to an otherwise storage free house, which I didn't even really realize until I got to Grace's bedroom, that there's a very little storage space truly in this house except the kitchen. So the kitchen is pulling double duty as a kitchen and storage room anyways. So yeah, I just thought that was a cute little funny touch. But yeah, here's my very simple house for Grace. So let me just get the roof on so you can see it that way. There we go. I think it turned out really well. I think that it looks like a house that fits into this neighborhood really, really. Oh, I'm inside of a tree apparently. Really, really well with the entire area and neighborhood and everything. But it also looks like it's been updated and modernized a little bit. And that's kind of the feel. Obviously, as you can see from the other houses that I've done, is, well, these ones are a little less modernized and updated, but that one's definitely more modernized and updated. And I do have plans for the BFFs over there, but even their house looks slightly more updated and modernized versus what an old house in this type of neighborhood would typically look like. You know what I mean? So, yeah, on that note, I'm gonna let you go now. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, you enjoy my channel. If you do, don't forget to hit the like button. Every like, I just absolutely appreciate. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. It tells me that I'm doing a good job. It tells me that you like the things that I make and you want to see more. And yeah, it's a great motivator, and I just really, really appreciate it more than you could possibly know. And if you really enjoy my videos, maybe you would consider hitting the subscribe button as well. Until the next one, I will see you. Bye.